Make your brain work fast and healthy again. Part 1. For decades, sweet and fatty food have surrounded us. Our body could not deal well with these eating habits. But what about our brain? Do our mental health, our moods, and our brain abilities suffer from the wrong nutrition? We know that junk food is making us fat, but science is telling us it might also shrink our brains. Brain researchers have joined the dining table to study the effects of our eating habits. Diets that are high in fat and sugar in the long term lead to changes in the part of the brain involved in memory. This is a developing science that spotlights a new facet of nutrition. All foods which are high in fat and sugar reprogramming the brain. Our brain affected by what's on our plates. It all starts with our very first meals, even before birth. It builds the brain up during pregnancy. How it functions later on depends on how it's nourished by the expectant mother's diet. We have known several consequences of poor nutrition during gestation have been known for a long time. Experts were following the eating habits of 25,000 pregnant women. They measured their intake of junk and processed food, their intake of the healthful foods with lots of fiber. Then they looked at the emotional health of their kids over the first few years of life, from 18 months to 5 years. Mothers who ate more junk and processed food, sweet drinks, salty snacks, cakes, biscuits during their pregnancy, their children have more of these behaviors such as aggression, anger, and tantrums. The mother's diet impacts the mental development of the baby, though the link remains to be demonstrated on the biological level. If the children were eating too much junk and processed food and not enough of the healthful foods, they had more of these anger and aggressive type behaviors, but also sadness, anxiety, worry, and nightmares. Junk food is often low of essential nutrition, so it leaves the body and especially the nerve cells lacking. Omega-3 is called good fats due to their benefits to the heart and arteries. Without omega-3 fatty acids, the brain does not develop and function normally. They need it because the brain gray matter is 90% fat, which it cannot produce itself. The brain is the organ after adipose tissue that is the richest in polyunsaturated fatty acid or omega-3. So omega-3 is indispensable because the body cannot make it. We have to ingest it. It has to come from the diet. Oily fish, organ meat, vegetable oils, and seeds and nuts such as almonds have long been the main sources of omega-3 for humans. The amount of omega-3 that enters in the brain is crucial for making brain cells more efficient. When these fatty acids incorporated into the membranes of nerve cells, they improve their electrical properties. In omega-3 rich neutrons, the signals propagate faster. The network is more efficient. Depriving the brain of omega-3 links to a risk that it will function less well. During aging, where the incorporation of the omega-3 into the brain tends to be less effective, so we must increase its intake. The first rule for the brain to work at full speed is avoid deficiencies. Good nutrition and a varied diet should be available. What happens to neutrons when the meals are poor and above all always the same? Enriching food with vitamins, fatty acids, and minerals can reduce aggression. What we eat may have the power to change our moods to stimulate certain impulses. But could the food on our plate also influence our decisions? The ones we believe we make using our free will? When people are asked if they think that the food they eat impacts on health, most of them answer yes. But when asked if the diet can also influence thoughts and decisions, very few people are willing to believe this. Experts followed 24 people who came to the laboratory twice to have two different breakfasts. They have found that the same person made completely different decisions based on what they ate in the morning to the test person. The two breakfasts looked the same. In reality, one was far more protein-rich than the other. The ratio of protein to sugar is the only parameter that was changed. A few hours after the meal, the people have taken several tests on a computer. When they consumed a high-protein breakfast in the morning, they were more tolerant towards unfair offers. When they consumed a high-carbohydrate breakfast, they were less tolerant in the face of unfair offers. If we eat only little protein, we reject unfair offers twice as often. Experts have analyzed the level of hormones and amino acids in their blood, especially the hormones insulin, cortisol, adrenaline, and ACTH, and for the amino acids tryptophan and tyrosine. The amino acids is one building block of a protein that is a key to brain function, dopamine. This molecule ensures communication between neurons involved in motivation and risk-taking. If we have higher levels of tyrosine in our blood, we are more willing to accept the unfair offer. What we eat can within hours change the chemistry of the brain and the communications between the neurons. Since we eat 3 times a day every day, we realize that food has enormous power modifying and shaping us. So it's very important to think about how we can use food to promote our well-being and optimize our mental state. Not only does an unbalanced diet affect our brain functions and behavior, our meal plan interfere with everyday decisions, highly affect our mental health too. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel.